The sun was scorching that afternoon as 16-year-old Aisha clutched the small bag her mother had packed for her school lunch. She walked briskly through the crowded streets of her neighborhood, her worn sandals kicking up dust. Aisha was the daughter of a maid, and life had never been easy. Every day, she balanced schoolwork with running small errands for her mother, doing whatever she could to help make ends meet. But today, something extraordinary was about to happen, something that would change her understanding of kindness forever. As she approached the bus stop, she noticed an old woman struggling with her purse. Coins spilled onto the dusty road, clinking faintly as they hit the ground. People passed by without noticing, too busy with their own lives. But Aisha didn't hesitate. She knelt down carefully, picking up the coins, counting them meticulously, and handed them back to the trembling woman. "Thank you, Beta," the old lady said, her voice quivering. "But I don't have enough for the bus fare." Aisha looked at the few coins in the woman's hand. It wasn't much, but she had a little money tucked away from the small chores she had done over the week. Without a second thought, she added her own coins to make up the full fare. "Here, Auntie," she said softly. "This will cover your ticket." The old woman's eyes glistened with tears. "You have a good heart, child. May you always be blessed." She tried to offer Aisha a small token, but the girl refused politely. Helping was enough reward for her. As the bus approached, the old lady slowly climbed aboard, giving Aisha a warm smile that stayed with her even as the vehicle drove away. Aisha watched the bus disappear into the distance, feeling a strange mix of joy and curiosity. Who was this woman, and why had she seemed so relieved and grateful? A few minutes later, Aisha returned home to find her mother tired but smiling. They shared a quiet meal together, but her mind kept drifting back to the encounter at the bus stop. She wondered if she had truly made a difference, or if it was just a fleeting act that would go unnoticed in the grand scheme of life. The next morning at school, whispers and giggles circled around her. Aisha noticed a group of teachers huddled near the principal's office. Out of curiosity, she approached and overheard the most astonishing news she could imagine. The old lady she had helped yesterday was none other than Mrs. Khan, a philanthropist and one of the most respected women in the city, known for her charitable contributions to schools, hospitals, and orphanages. Her heart skipped a beat. Could it really be the same woman? The lady she had helped, the one who had seemed so frail and vulnerable, was actually someone who had touched countless lives in ways she had never imagined. Aisha couldn't help but smile. Perhaps kindness really did have a way of coming full circle. Later that day, Aisha's teacher called her to the front of the class. "Aisha, we heard about your act of kindness yesterday. You may not realize it, but what you did was extraordinary. Mrs. Khan herself asked that we recognize your compassion." The class erupted in applause, and Aisha's cheeks flushed with pride and disbelief. She had only wanted to help, never expecting that such a simple act could ripple into something so meaningful. A few hours into the afternoon, Aisha returned home with a newfound sense of purpose. As she recounted the events to her mother, she realized that true kindness required no reward, no recognition, only the willingness to act when others needed help the most. About 40 seconds into her reflection, she picked up her phone, remembering something important. "If you're enjoying this story," Aisha said to herself, imagining the viewers, "don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Valley." Sharing acts of kindness can inspire others just like Mrs. Khan inspired me. Her mother smiled at the young girl's enthusiasm. "You've always had a kind heart, Aisha. But today, you've shown that even the smallest actions can make the biggest difference." Days passed, but Aisha continued to think about the woman she had helped. One afternoon, she found herself invited to Mrs. Khan's home. Nervously, she stepped inside a beautiful house she had only seen from afar. Mrs. Khan greeted her warmly, as if they were old friends. "I wanted to meet the young girl who reminded me of why I started helping others in the first place," Mrs. Khan said, holding Aisha's hands gently. "You have shown a pure heart, and it's people like you who make the world a better place." Aisha was stunned. She had expected gratitude, but not this overwhelming acknowledgement. She realized that kindness wasn't about recognition. It was about creating connections, touching hearts, and inspiring hope. Mrs. Khan, despite her wealth and influence, had felt the human warmth that Aisha had freely given, and that simple gesture had bridged two very different worlds. As they spoke, Aisha learned that Mrs. Khan was planning a new initiative to support young students from underprivileged backgrounds. She invited Aisha to be part of the project, helping other children access education, just as she herself had worked hard to reach her own dreams. Aisha couldn't believe it. The small act of helping an old woman with bus fare had opened a door to endless possibilities, not just for her, but for countless other children. Weeks later, as she walked past the same bus stop, Aisha felt a sense of calm and determination. Life hadn't become easier overnight, but the encounter had changed her perspective. Every person, no matter their age or status, could make a difference if they chose compassion over indifference. Aisha turned toward the camera, her eyes shining with quiet confidence. "You never know how much an act of kindness can mean to someone," she said. "Even something as small as helping with bus fare can change a life forever. And sometimes, it might even come back to inspire your own journey in ways you can't imagine." As the sun dipped lower in the sky, Aisha walked home with a light step, a heart full of hope, and a mind alive with possibilities. She glanced back at the bus stop one last time, knowing that the world was full of hidden stories, waiting for someone brave enough to act with kindness. Just before the screen faded to black, she added one final thought for viewers. If this story touched your heart, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Valley. Every action, no matter how small, can ripple through the world in ways you'll never forget. The screen went dark, leaving viewers with the warmth of Aisha's journey, a story of compassion, courage, and unexpected connections that reminded everyone that kindness is a gift we can all give.